What if you could unite your marketing, data, and customer experience into one autonomous, intelligent platform, giving you your own AI first B2C CRM? Welcome to One Amazing Thing About Klaviyo. Today we're talking with Grant Deken, head of product Klaviyo Service at Klaviyo, and he's going to be sharing one amazing thing, their service suite, consisting of Customer Hub and Customer Agent with us today. Grant, welcome to the show.
Hey, Greg, excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing this in action here in a minute. But before we do, why don't you start by giving us a little background on yourself and your role at Klaviyo?
So I'm Grant Deken. I lead our service business here at Klaviyo. So as you mentioned, that comprises Customer Hub, our on-site self-service experience, Customer Agent, which is really our conversational AI platform for both pre and post purchase, sort of experiences, and then also our help desk, right? So we're really focusing on delivering kind of on this CRM vision, and really helping our customers sort of own the entire customer relationship. So service really completes that vision. So that's what we're focused on, and it's a really exciting time.
Nice, nice. Well, yeah, let's start talking a little bit about, you know, what is about Klaviyo's service suite, who's the audience, why is it important to them, what kind of problems is it solving?
Yeah, so I think at the highest level, I think at Klaviyo's vision, it's really all about helping our customers deepen the relationships that they have with their customers, right? And we say B2C CRM, it's really important because to really have those relationships at scale takes a very intentional, specific approach to building, right? So how do you have a relationship when you might have thousands or hundreds of thousands, or in some cases, millions of customers, right? And so really at the heart of that is the Klaviyo data platform that we've built. So a lot of what we think about is on top of that data platform, how do we build the applications that help activate that data and actually deepen those relationships? For a long time, we really focused on the marketing side of the house. So how do you get the right message in front of people, email and SMS, some on-site experiences, but in the spirit, again, of owning, I think, the whole relationship, if you, it's sort of like without service, you're kind of walking around with like,
Right.
one hand over, your eye. So adding service and also analytics really helps us see the whole picture. And so that's really, what we're focused on. And, I think engaging both with marketers, but also with service leaders and CX leaders to bring it all together and have them kind of lock arms and just deliver, frankly, better customer experiences. And I think it's why we're seeing the service as, the fastest kind of growing product that we've ever launched is really because we are delivering on that promise.
Yeah, love it. Well, yeah, let's take a look. Why don't you share your screen?
Sure. Yeah, let's dive in. I'm going to show two, sort of really important components of the service suite, both Customer Hub and our integrated customer agent, right? That sort of conversational AI experience that can help shoppers, both pre and post purchase. And it really all starts, I think, here at the overview page, when folks, when both marketers and service leaders log in, having a snapshot of, the value and the interactions that customers are actually having with your brand. And so you can see here in a snapshot, I've got my attributed revenue. I can see how many customer agent conversations have been happening, how many tickets have been resolved, things like that. And diving in just one level deeper, we can go into Customer Hub. And here is where, again, we talked about that data platform, really being able to activate that data in new and compelling ways. We really see service as operating on three kind of important principles that, as I kind of go through the product here, you'll kind of see come to life. And the first is that we want to engage with customers as soon as they're engaging with us, right? So traditionally, service thinks about, hey, maybe somebody lost a package or there's an issue and there's a problem, right? Is typically when you think of service, but we think about it differently. Service really starts the minute someone engages with your brand. The second piece is really about empowerment. So this is where Customer Hub comes into play, really empowering customers to take action. And you're going to see that here in a minute, where every action that actually happens in the on-site experience is, that sort of insight is coming back here, for brands to see, not only to have the intelligence, but then to be able to take action on it. And then also understand how that's translating into dollars, right? And then the third is really how do we think about service as a revenue driver, right? So again, how do we kind of blend the worlds of merchandising and personalization and service together to do it in a way that's different, and that really kind of, again, finds those moments where we can turn a service moment, into a sort of a buying moment as well. So here where we can configure all of that. I mean, you can see here, where brands have control to set up things like personalized messaging and blocks. All of these here can actually be tailored, to the specific individual users. This is part of that B2C CRM vision, is that I can not only surface information using dynamic tags based on whether somebody has a subscription or not, or how many loyalty points they have, or whether they're a VIP user or a churn risk. All that information can be used to deliver more of these tailored experiences. And then here I can actually target who sees what, right? So we're bringing together both the dynamic content and the conditional logic to know what to show, to who when they log in. So what you're seeing on the right-hand side is a preview of Customer Hub, right? And if we go to our sort of live store here, we actually see some of that in action. So the first thing I'm going to do is, there's a couple different ways you can initialize Customer Hub. You can do it here from this accounts view, and you can see here, it's got me already identified. We also have this here in this widget, which many people sort of associate with being able to get answers or chat with folks. So either way, you can kind of initialize these. And what you'll find is, again, on sort of the home view is really where we think as this as one kind of surface for someone to manage their relationship with the brand. So at a glance, you can see I've got my loyalty points in here. This is all powered by our partners. Very easy to activate. I can also see coupons that I have available. I have my referral link. I can actually redeem rewards from right in here. Here are the two coupons that I have, and I can actually view those. So we're really hearing from brands and consumers that this is a really great sort of elevation of the historical accounts experience. We've all kind of seen those where you've purchased a product and it's sort of sequestered away from the
Right.
storefront, and it's kind of like basic, order management. Here's sort of a rethinking of what that experience can be, where again, you can see I've got some tailored content, specific to me. I've got coupons that are very relevant. I mentioned loyalty. But then also as I scroll down, I can have things like recently viewed products, items that I've favorited in the past. I can sort of keep track of what I like, what I purchased, as well as things like product recommendations, right? And so what am I most likely interested in based on what I've looked at on the site or what I've purchased in the past? And Klaviyo powers all that and just puts that right here inside of Customer Hub. So again, really delivering a more personalized experience. And then of course, this is all about self-service, empowering the customer. So being able to have access to all that order information is really important. And so we, again, trying to bring that in here and also elevate it at the same time. So you can very easily see that, have quick actions, be able to repurchase or track the shipment, get help, send to your help desk, send to Klaviyo's help desk. So again, in one view, like having all this great information. Um, and then the other thing that's really exciting here is on the customer agent side. So I mentioned that briefly, if you're looking here at Customer Hub, we also have our customer agent inside of the Klaviyo Service suite. And we're really excited about this for kind of the potential and sort of the impact that we're already seeing it have with customers. So you can see here, this is my demo account, but just at a glance, I can see conversations that are happening. I can actually, look at these conversations and actually see, the whole experience that an end customer had, and kind of understand, what the AI was thinking. Did we get to a resolution or not? So that's really exciting. And then I'm going to also kind of identify knowledge gaps. And what's cool about this for customers is not only can you improve the agent here by giving it more information where their gaps, the gaps might exist, but you can also learn what customers are asking,
Right.
sort of where then the obvious gaps are on the website, right? Because if they're asking these questions, it's likely that this information was not readily available. Maybe it's not in your FAQs. So again, this is all about, how do you create these loops of, intelligence, insight, and then actionability inside of the Klaviyo platform. And coming back here to our demo, we can go in here and actually start to engage, with our agent, in real time. So, I might ask it something like, where's my order? And it's going to give me, a very kind of just integrated experience because I'm already authenticated. It knows who I am. It's going to be able to look that up and actually say, hey, here's your order containing the, pullover hoodie and the Clivio dad hat. I'd say, hey, great. Are there any promotions running right now? This is a common question that we get around loyalty, discounts, things like that. So I can ask, the agent there, and it can look through kind of information that's been provided in the knowledge base or things that are on site. Actually, we got a great answer here, right? So one, you'll notice the friendly language here. We have things like tone of voice, and so we have this in a more playful tone of voice. It's a little more sales forward, so it's thinking about how to, really, give great recommendations and point users in the right direction. And so it mentioned here that for new customers, we do have this, but we also have the ability. To get 25% off your entire order. And we kind of go one step further where we actually then link into the rewards page as well.
Hmm.
So just like that, the AI is able to give me that insight, deep linking back to where my coupons are. And you can imagine this is great as a shopper, but this is also great as a brand where we have the attention, we have them in the moment, we're able to give them something of value and actually get that transaction to happen. So it's both transactionally great, it's also great for the relationship. And this is sort of the power again of bringing your service and sort of marketing data together in one place.
Yeah, yeah, love it. Yeah, and I mean, what I love about this is, I always say it's always a problem when a customer has to navigate like a brand's org chart to like get around, whether that's in the phone tree doom loop kind of thing, or even on a website or a digital experience. So it's really nice to see a natural integration of, because customers, again, they don't care if they're dealing with the marketing team or the service team or whatever. They have either an opportunity or a challenge to solve, right? So it's good to have it all in one place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just as you were bringing that up, I was just pulling up a couple of different examples of how different brands are implementing these experiences. And so you can see, all different kinds of businesses, different business models, different maybe use cases, but all really able to take advantage of the Klaviyo Service Suite.
Yeah, love it. Well, Grant, thanks so much for joining today. I know there's plenty more to see, but thanks for sharing at least some of it with us. For those that want to see more, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, just head over to klaviyo.com and you'll be able to see everything that we have going on.
Wonderful. Well, again, I'd like to thank Grant Deken, head of product Klaviyo Service at Klaviyo, for joining the show. You can learn more about Grant and Klaviyo by following the links in the show notes.
Thanks so much, Greg.
Thank you.